Om Shanti everyone, good morning. Is a beautiful Murli, very much in line of yesterday's Sunday Murli on the aspect of Dharna. So where Baba was talking about where we are at and where we need to get to and how we are going to get to. Right, yesterday Baba was talking about being having that total vairag, total disinterest, distaste, and then having a taste for the real thing, deep sense of belonging. And on the same lines, in today's Murli, Baba is empowering us with a lot of swaman, and Baba is asking us and welcoming us to step into our true swaman, right? And then especially the big part of transformation of Brahmin into deity is to how well we stabilize in our Swaman. So let's see what Baba says. Baba says the ancestors of all souls are Brahmins. The Purva Jatmas of everyone is Brahmins. And those Brahmins who are to become deities. Not all Brahmins, Laukic Brahmins are not ancestors. But those Brahmins who have to become deities are the ancestor souls. The ancestor souls of all souls are the Brahmins who are to become deities. Today, Bab Dada is seeing two special forms of the children everywhere. We know what these two forms are. The two forms are the ancestors of all souls and those who are worthy of worship by all souls. Purvaj and Pujaniya. The two forms are Purvaj and Pujaniya. Ancestors are those who are worthy of worship. Being praiseworthy is included in being worshipped. Are you aware of those of both your forms? Are you aware that you are the ancestors of all founders of religions and of all the souls of all religions? Try to bring the picture of the tree being seated on the roots of the tree, and these roots which are holding the whole tree, and the founders of different religions are those who are holding the branches connected to the trunk. And Baba is bringing our attention to that Swaman, and not only Swaman, that role that we have to play, where Baba is telling that are you aware of both of your forms of Pujaniya and Purvaj? Are you aware that you are the ancestors of all founders of the religions and the souls of all religions? Brahmins who are to become deities are the souls of the original eternal deity religion, the trunk that emerges directly from the seed, the father. Where is your place in the picture of the world tree? It is the main position. The main thing is the trunk through which the branches of all religions are emerged. The ancestors, the Brahmins who become deities, are the main support. The ancestors are the first creation of Adidev. Everyone has love and regard for their ancestors. The ancestors are the foundation of every action. All maryadas, principles, and customs and systems of the clan. You ancestors are the images of support and the images of upliftment for all souls. Are you stable in your elevated Swaman, self-respect? Ancestors are the images of support, Adhar Murat and Uddhar Murat, who are the images of support and the one who uplifts, images of upliftment for all the souls. Are you stable in your elevated swama? Because of being respect, because of having respect for the ancestors, there is also respect for the place of the ancestors. Because of having respect for the ancestors, there is also the respect for the place of the ancestors. Souls of any religion even unknowingly look at the land of Bharat, that is the place of ancestors, with the vision of importance. People also believe Bharat to be the center of greatest attainments of easy yoga or other types of yoga and of spiritual power. People also believe Bharat to be the center of great attainments of easy yoga, other types of yoga, and of spiritual power. In the memorial of the Bharat, out of all scriptures, the Gita is believed to be the scriptures with most elevated regard. Gita is believed to be the scripture that inspires both science and silence. This is something new. Gita is believed to be the scripture that inspires both science and silence. People have a desire in their minds to see an image of and to hear about the inspiring activities of their ancestors. People have the desire in their minds to see an image of and to hear about the inspiring activities of their ancestors. However, they are not able to come close to their ancestors, even though they want to, because they do not have a full recognition or such awareness, and also because of being of a different religion and country. The reason for all of this and the ancestors of all are you. Everyone in this world has a lot of love for the land, the pictures, and the possessions of their ancestors. So too, souls of other religions, knowingly or unknowingly, very much value the old pictures and the old things of Bharat. Do the instrument souls who are ancestors always remember this Maha Mantra? Whatever thoughts, that is, thoughts, words, or deeds I perform at this time, they reach all souls. Do the instrument souls who are ancestors always remember this great mantra? Whatever thoughts, that is, thoughts, words, or deeds, I perform at this time, they reach all souls. It is from the trunk that all the branches receive their strength. So do all souls automatically attain the powers of elevated thoughts and all powers through you souls. Do you pay this much attention? Everyone follows his or her ancestor. Whatever thoughts you have or deeds you perform, others will follow them in a physical or subtle way. Do you create thoughts and perform deeds while considering yourself to have such a huge responsibility? The time and stage of the world depends upon you, ancestor souls. When you are Satopradhan, golden aged matter and the atmosphere of the whole world are Satopradhan. Matter and the whole world was Satopradhan when you were Satopradhan. So time, stage, and matter are all dependent upon you, ancestors. Time, stage, and matter are all dependent upon you ancestors. Do not think that actions you perform are simply for the sake of the reward of those actions. However, the reward of the deeds performed by ancestor souls is not just connected with the self, but with all souls and the world cycle. Are you such great souls? By having this awareness, you will constantly pay attention. There will not be any type of carelessness. There won't be any ordinary or waste thoughts or deeds. Constantly maintain this elevated position, and then Maya will not create any opposition. She will also bow down to your position. The five vices and the five elements will become your servants. When you order the five vices to bid you farewell for half a cycle, they will take leave from you, and matter will become Satopradhan and a giver of happiness. When you are in your position of an ancestor, it is not possible for the vices not to accept the orders you give them through your thoughts. It is not possible that the matter would not change or that the five vices would not bid you farewell. Do you understand? Baba is reminding all of you Mahavir children everywhere of such elevated Swaman. Of course, each one is number wise. Acha. To those who are images of support for all souls, to those who are free from the bondage of mind and matter, to those who constantly have all rights and are constantly stable in the position of ancestors, to those who consider themselves to be instruments to make other souls elevated and powerful through, through their own thoughts and deeds, to the master creators, to the master almighty authorities, to the knowledgeful souls, Baptada's love, remembrance, and love. It's a beautiful Murli, full of Swaman, of being an ancestor, when you stabilize in that position of an ancestor. So whatever you think, you end up empowering every soul of the world. That is the highest responsibility, and at the same time, you also have the highest power. Let's take a minute to soak in. Try to relax your mind, relax your awareness. Gracefully bring your attention back to your seed stage. With your mind, try to perceive your presence, your powerful presence. Very close to Baba, the seed of the tree. Try to feel that strong bonding between Baba and you. and extending Baba's love, light, and power. The whole trunk, extending to all the founders of all the religions, of all the branches of the tree, making them very strong, extending it further to all the branches, to all the souls of all the branches. Very stable in your ancestor stage, and very close to other ancestor souls, and very closely connected to Baba. Become that conduit of God's love and light. Become so pure and transparent that God's light just shines through you into the whole tree. Make your stage so strong and stable that whole tree feels the strength from your stage. With your elevated stage, that every soul of the tree become elevated. Your pure and powerful presence at this very time is transforming the whole atmosphere. The matter is becoming Satopradhan. All the vices and illnesses of the soul is taking leave from the whole tree. Transforming the matter with your powerful presence, with your pure vibrations. Very stable as an ancestor, not only bringing hope to every soul, but also empowering every soul and elevating every soul on earth. Empowering and elevating every soul of all branches. Make yourself very comfortable being yourself as an ancestor soul, as a worship-worthy soul, the one who is loved the most. loved by the whole tree. Make yourself very comfortable and make your stage very natural. Purvaj and Pujiniyatma. Totally in love. Very stable and steady. Om Shanti. Beautiful Murli. Rest of the Murli will read tomorrow. What new experience did Baba give in this Murli? What new experiences and new awareness did Baba give in today's Murli? And how are you going to stay in that position for long periods of time? Anyone would love to unmute themselves and share? Vijay?
Yeah, so the point at which touched me is, we are the ancestors. So Baba says the time and stage, of the world is going to depends on the ancestor souls. So when we are Sato Pradhan, right? So that's when, the stage is also Sato Pradhan. The atmosphere is Sato Pradhan. The time, right, matter, all depends on our ancestors. So we are responsible. So Baba is, telling us that we are responsible for uplifting the world. So when it depends on our stage where we are, it's accordingly the world is set. So if the world is in Tamo Pradhan stage, then of course it is our responsibility. The ancestors have become Tamo Pradhan. So when we become Sato Pradhan, then the world will also change to the Sato Pradhan stage. So for that, I think Baba wants us to be, stabilized in that our elevated position, that we have to remind ourselves that we are the ancestors. We have to bring the change within this world. So there should not be any opposition coming from Maya. We'll have to defeat all that. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it is again.
Om Shanti, brother. Om Shanti. If you say the word ancestral, often what we think, when I say my ancestors, I'm talking about a strict meaning of the word ancestors. It means all those souls who were before me in my own lineage. So I can say my parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, sometimes whom we call them as the Pitras. That's why they say the Pitru, from whom we get the Pitru Vardhan blessing, or they say the Pitru Dosha. So that is what generally I used to think about ancestral. And there are in some houses where they have kept the ancestral, that family tree, you will see there at least up to 5 lineage for them to know who were their previous ancestors and all. This is how always I used to think. But here today, that's the glory. See, Baba always, I used to think he only used to speak of 2 forms. And that's the form which was always the one was incorporeal, another is angelic. But today he has given us 2 more titles. Apurvajo, Apujyatmavo. That's a very nice swaman. And with that, 2 concepts which Baba has given us, you not only give Sakash to the whole tree. So again, there Baba is giving my place. See, in that lineage, my place is Baba saying the roots. From where I give Sakash to the whole tree, means to all the branches, to all the twigs and all. Now, my question is, if I'm giving to the branches and twigs, that means, as Baba clarified, that they are of other religions. Let me honestly ask, when I see a soul of other religion, when I see a soul other than what I am, or the family where I don't belong, if there are others, am I able to really, how do I really make them feel that I belong to them or they belong to me? See, it's very nice to understand from the Baba's context, because he's saying you are the roots, you are the thing, you come down and talk. But practically, when I'm in service or when I'm sitting here, leave alone Bharat, even other country or other religion, what is that kind of stage where Baba is asked, where I can make them feel, hello, I belong to you? That is one question. And when souls call out, to whom do they call out? Do they call out to the ancestor souls or the deity souls? Just if these 2 from the Murli, if we could churn.
So very beautiful and very relevant Murli, especially with Israel and Palestine war going on. The same place, Jerusalem, is supposed to be the sacred place for both of their ancestors. And if you just put yourself in that place, both have love for the land, both have love for their ancestors, and they both are fighting among themselves. What do you think an ancestor soul would be feeling like? Why are you fighting, killing each other? Right? And if you actually see, the whole thing extends from Bharat, and especially nicely brought up, Girija Ben, that do you really feel when we see a Muslim or a person coming out of church with all their cultural baggage and overloads? When you look at them, can you see through the clutter that they belong to you and you belong to them? And not only belong, but you are responsible for what they feel. Yeah, it's a really elevated thought. Baba saying, like, what you think is what they are going to think. What you feel is what they are going to feel too. So you're responsible for what they are going through. It's a very high responsibility. Yeah. Anyone else?
My second question, whom do they call out to when they are in distress?
When they are in distress, if you actually see, most of them are connecting to their, they may call angels, but in fact they are calling their ancestors. Right? If you look at the whole of either the ancestors of the branches, definitely in Bharat they are connecting to their ancestors. Even when you go to temple, first thing they ask is like, what is your gotra, and then it is nothing but what is your nakshatra and gotra. They are nothing but your ancestor's name, whoever is the ancient saint who you are descendant from, if you literally look at it, right? So Indians, there is no problem that they are connecting to their ancestors, but even the the other branches, Islamic branches, they are also connecting to their ancestors. And all this Adam and BB and they are nothing but Brahma Baba. Whoever is next to them are we. So indirectly, we are the ones they are connecting to. All their angels, all their faristas, whoever they are connecting to, they are all connecting to us eventually. So, yeah.
So you can say the souls of other religions, their
Hmm.
ancestors are the dharmatmas. And for these dharmatmas, because they are again the twigs, we are the ancestors. So, like they are, if the dharmatmas are grandfather, we are great grandfather. So, indirectly, for these souls of other religion, we are the ancestors. Is that the root?
That's right. We are always the root. Even if you look at Islamic tradition, their ancestors are Adam and we they are nothing but Brahma, Baba, and Mama. And if you actually see, it is not Jesus. Jesus is only pointing. He's just pointing. And then Jesus also came from Jewish tradition. And then he's also pointing to the Old Testament. It's also going back to us, trunks, roots of the trunk. So they know this New Testament came out of Old and then they are all connected. So when they go back to their stories, they come back to the stories of BKs at the end of the day. Yeah. And we have a huge influence definitely on the faith that they are connecting to. Uh, but refining, if you look at whole of Christianity also, a lot of people don't have faith in the religious practices and what's happening in the current world. But a lot of people are genuinely becoming spiritual. Then they think that there is some other forces which are working. They do believe in, especially I've been to Greece, they were lot of them believe in angels more than Jesus and all of these people. So yeah, so we
Anyway,
have a
brother,
huge
I
influence.
cannot think beyond. Let me be very honest with you. When Baba mentioned about country, for me, India is my country. You know, I am still not. I know the whole world, Vishwa Maharaja. Fine, fine. They are nice, Oman. But when a particular time comes, when a question of India or say UK or US comes, I stick like a glue to India. I don't
Mm.
know what is that feeling you, whether you call it as patriotism or whether you call it as nationality or what is it? That Bharat, no other country but only Bharat. I think sometimes that kind of staunch thing comes over. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there is this. I mean, I personally have that feeling because I had an opportunity to see and live for 20 years on the other side. I can feel there is some patriotic feeling here. And then I can see that, oh, is this what getting triggered when I am in India, when there is India Pakistan cricket match? I can feel that, look, this is not right. Right? I can see there is a limit, something is limiting me from extending that sense of love to every soul. So but if I hook on to Bharat as a sacred land, as the land where God descended, as the place where I am connected to the whole of Brahmin family in all over the world in 140 countries. I belong to that family, not to just the family who resides in so-called India right now. Right? So I need to extend my sense of awareness of Bharat as the whole world. I, I I need to slowly push my boundaries a little bit. So then you'll feel that look, whole of this thing I am responsible. Indirectly, what's happening in the Middle East, I am responsible. So is there? I have an influence of being a Bharatvasi who has access to so much spiritual power. So many Baba's children are and ancestor souls are in Bharat. So having that proximity to all of these souls, having these vibrations, I have a moral responsibility to extend that love and light to whole of the world, Middle East and rest of the world too. So if you can shift your gaze a little bit, that I belong to Brahmin family, not just to Bharat. So then you'll see a little shift in what heart is stuck. Yeah.
Om Shanti, brother. Just to add to what you just said,
Hmm.
I have been involved with some past life regressions, and I've seen a lot of people are actually, even if they were originally Bharat, they are now in foreign lands. They have the same original aspects of Bharat. And some of them have actually been helping in writing the spiritual content in a more logical, scientific manner and saying the same thing which intuitively they knew from before. So I'm quite sure it's a big cycle, whether it's Bharat, today they may be wherever. But it is like the spiritual source, and they're actually spreading the light by being born in a different country and then linking it back to the source. Om Shanti.
Yeah. Anyone else? Or are we out of time? Or we have some more time? So if anyone have any question or comment, if not, I have a question. So what is it that is limiting us to stay in that unlimited stage? What is it that we need to do to move out of that limited position to stabilize in that ancestor stable stage? What is it that is stopping? What do we have to do or practice so that we step into the stage of unlimited stage of an ancestor? Any thoughts, any comments? Because this is a very big responsibility. For that matter, I think that is the next scene that is going to happen pretty soon.
So, can you say it's maybe the vision of what I am, or what is around me? If suppose I just limit it to the physical souls, to the physical limits or physical country and all, I will stay only there. I have to come out of that to say, I am not just in this particular limits. I go out beyond, like it's a universal consciousness, you can say, where I can see everyone, everywhere, usual where. And I feel, oh, I'm the one, I have to take care of such a big world, not just small world. Like for a mother who just doesn't have to take care of that small house, but when she goes out and serves in the world where, and that service is the Behad Ki Seva. Can that vision help?
Yeah, definitely. But one thing that really helped me personally is for one day, start living their life. Start imagining whatever is happening in their life, whatever they are stuck in. Just imagine all of that thing is happening to you. Just imagine you were stepped into their body and start living. You step into their shoes and then spend some time. Let your mind get acclimatized to their circumstances, and that will really make you feel what they will be feeling. So then there will be a common denominator between when you put yourself in their shoes and what you feel, and when you come back to our limited self, what I feel about them. big chunk of that will cancel out, and there will be a common denominator, which is more about spiritual soul to soul connection will start getting more prominently visible. Otherwise we are just intellectualizing. Oh, I am a soul, you are a soul, you belong to God, you are a child of God, I am child of God, we are all one family. So that is like a concept, it's like a mental model. But when you put your heart into that position, what you feel being in that position, what you feel being in your limited self, and what you feel about them in this limited self, and then you can see that this is very stuck. And then instead of putting your head into their position, put your heart into their position, try to feel what they feel, and then you'll see a whole different scene altogether. And then you can add to that having this knowledge, what will I feel about them, they not having this knowledge and what they are feeling, are their feelings justified? And what is my responsibility having this understanding and still having limited feelings towards them, right? You can really feel your heart will start moving. You'll see a total shift in what you feel about other people.
It's like a fish moving out of the pond and going to the ocean. But I must
Yeah.
know there are sharks in the ocean. How do I face those sharks? My life in the pond was happy. Won't the fish think?
Well, just imagine the ocean is ocean of broader and understanding, broader awareness. As you elevate yourself to more soul conscious, there will be less sharks. In the limited ponds, there are more sharks, more barriers. You see, right? Like more, when I say like the ocean of love, then we are trying to refer to the elevated stage, elevated awareness, broader awareness, awareness that is that space and time will rip off from us, right? Space and time, all of our past cultural conditioning that went over the soul, just imagine that is all ripped off. And all this conditioning comes out. What is left behind, and then how you interact with the people is totally different, because the same conditioning that has been going on on every soul for the last 5,000 years, including even golden and silver ages to some extent. Because when I know that I am Anadi, Sanatan Dharma clan, then that ego is boosted like big hot air balloon, And at the same time, if I hold this awareness like Sanatan Dharma is Hindu Dharma and rest of the people have nothing to do with it, I'm most elevated. So the kind of arrogance that comes out of it and how I interact with other person is totally off track. Follow, right? So I have to rip off all the conditioning that went throughout this space time, and then start relating to the soul as they are, and then start seeing how much power Baba has bestowed on us, and how much responsibility that power brings onto us. And I feel we need to go through some detox. All this conditioning that went on the soul, all of this has to be detoxed. We have to go through some, like, that's where my attention goes back to Sunday's Murli, yesterday's Murli, where you have to go through vairag, distaste, and that comes with little bit of tinge of all of that thing. And especially when I recently came from India again, and there I felt that, wow, I still have all of these feelings of being being coming from Hindu and Muslim and that kind of things. I felt that this is not right. I need to still go through some detox. Follow it. So any other thoughts, comments from today's Murli? Especially meditating on the picture of tree is very uplifting. These pictures are really good stuff. Anyone else have any thoughts? How can I go back to my eternal stage? What is stopping and how can I? Because we need to get to that position quickly because things are changing fast. If I don't get into that position, somebody else will get because time is short. Daddies have already got into their positions. Baba has already said like, oh, I have given all that I have to say. I'm done saying anymore. Right? So 23 and 24 will be, we'll see good shakeups. How are you getting ready for the scenes that are going to come now? Anyone else? Balwinder, Banu? Oops, did I lose you?
Brother, if you have time, can you just explain this one line? The Gita is believed to be the scripture that inspires both science and silence.
Oh, that is good stuff. When I heard that one, my attention straight away went to, Oppenheimer. There is a movie also recently. Oppenheimer is the guy who actually built the atomic bomb. So that is the big breakthrough in whole of the science and technology, right? Whole of that nuclear energy, like until then it was just a concept. It's like theoretical stuff. E equal to mc square. Like if you can transfer this much mass can be converted into this much huge energy. It was just a concept, right? And Oppenheimer is the guy who really made it happen, right? Do you know what is the quote? What did he quoted when this experiment really happened? Not very far from where I live here, New Mexico. That's where they tested here. And the first thought that he said, he quoted Bhagavad Gita. He quoted Bhagavad Gita. You should definitely check that thing out. I'll just quickly show you. It's a very powerful 2 minutes clip. Let me see. So he's the guy. Can you see my screen?
The world would not be the same. Two people laughed, two people cried, most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on multi-armed form and says, now I am become death to destroy our worlds. I
You follow, right? So this guy, this is the interview that he has given. He felt such a huge moral responsibility for the destruction of so many people. And then he said, like, how am I going to comprehend this big? It's a huge burden on the soul, right? So he was quoting, like he was trying to seek for like what is a reasonable understanding, right? And then what happened is he started trying to become an activist to stop all of this nuclear um, creation, building these bombs and all of that stuff. So whole America went against him. So he blocked them and all kinds of stuff happened, right? Anyhow, so but coming back to Gita is a source not only for the science silence, but also for the science. And they feel there is this connection that is happening, something else is inspiring them, you know. So we hear this from the Murlis that okay, so whatever you're thinking or feeling is inspiring the scientists to do what they are doing. In fact, this is a direct quote. Oppenheimer himself is making a comment saying that when we did this, we felt this is the big thing that happened, that was mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. A lot of people follow Bhagavad Gita even here in the Western world, even though they are not Hindus. They are not. They observe Gita not just as a, you know. There is a big difference between Bible, Quran, and Bhagavad Gita, and the difference is Bhagavad Gita is logical. It the whole conversation is more reasoning based, right? And then if you look at the Bible, they say like God says this because he said so. Don't question it. If you question it, you're not Christian. Same thing with Quran. Because God said so, you just follow. Don't even dare ask or question. Right? So that is how is the tone of those books. Whereas the tone of the whole Gita is like totally different. Dude, you are not the one who are not going to think for yourself. If you get into wise, what will happen? Your intellect will get totally destroyed if you start dwelling too much into the material things. And it clearly tells, and then you can observe for yourself, like, yeah, this is what's happening. I should better stay away from all these materialistic things, because it is very logical and sequential, right? So I am really happy to see this statement coming in the Murli. Gita is not only the source for silence, but also for the science. And especially if you look at most of the uh, big science-backed proofs that are coming, is may it be the quantum mechanics or may it be the string theory, they start questioning the very nature of our physical existence. And then it is very much aligned to what we hear uh, in 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 generally in the Hindu scriptures. They dwell more into it, but in Bhagavad Gita it alludes very clearly. But a lot of things have been dissolved, you know, to the word of mouth. Did I answer?
Awesome, brother. Yeah, I think you made me very proud of one of the memorial of Bharat. I will really see what is that link you give. If you can just pass on that link, I would really love to read it. Or just that one sentence sounded for me out of the paragraph. That's why I asked you. Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. And then he's not just quoting in a very sane, in his sanity. He was really upset. He was really felt guilty. He was really feeling deep down in his heart. He felt really bad for what he has done. And then he felt that he was responsible for the death of this hundreds of thousands of people in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, because he is the guy who built it. And then you can see from his very tone, and then he was genuinely seeking for the truth. Like, why is this? Why am I the means for being this, right? And in fact, Oppenheimer is not the top scientist as such, but he's very smart and very uh, people manager, and then he knows how to get things done. He was very hands-on and practical guy. But there are a lot of other good scientists, but they were not part of this drama, and he was. It's a very interesting thing, you should definitely, if you look into all of the quantum mechanics, that's really beautiful. You can clearly see, you as an observer can manifest whatever you want to manifest, and then you can see as each, in every soul, whatever role that has been etched into. And role is nothing but it's an expression of your sanskaras, right? And a expression of sanskaras is nothing but expression of your stage. Expression of your stage is nothing but expression of your presence, whatever it is, the energy level that you are holding. It's sato pradhan or sato rajo and tamo, right? So when the souls of the right level come together, they manifest something very beautiful. And with their presence, the whole atmosphere and matter is what is manifested. And that's what Baba is emphasizing here. You, as an ancestor soul, you're not just responsible for the souls of the other religion and the whole tree, but you're also responsible for the matter and the whole atmosphere that is there. Through you souls, I am going to infuse this pure energy into this material world, into this whole drama. And then you can put a whole lens of quantum mechanics and then whole of this science lens, and then you'll see it will very much uh, align with it. So anyhow, you are powerful, you are ancestor souls. Strap your belts, get into your position, and let's have some quick meditation before we wrap up. Anything else, Raghulin? Right. Yeah.
No, but we can continue with that.
Let's make yourself very comfortable. Just relax your body, transform the atmosphere within your body. Feel your presence in this body. And gracefully bring the attention of your mind onto your pure presence. Try to refine the atmosphere in your own mind. Make your mind clean and clear. As your mind tunes into this eternal self, with all the limited thoughts and limited feelings clear from your mind space. Create this powerful atmosphere in your mind and in your heart. Gracefully raise your mind and heart into this pure space beyond. Free from any conditioning of the culture, conditioning of the past, conditioning of the space, place. Totally detached and beyond. Very close to Baba. The love of all souls. very close to the seed. Go into the essence of your presence. Experience the essence of your relationship with Baba. Experience the essence. Pure connection. And let Baba's love and light shine through you. More you allow Baba's love to flow through your mind and your heart, more your heart and mind gets cleansed, free from the conditioning. Just allow Baba's love and light reach every soul through your heart and mind. Stabilize yourself in a powerful stage, creating this powerful atmosphere, transforming both matter and all the souls. Very stable in your ancestor and worship for this stage. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Shabai, for the wonderful session. And thank you, Divine Family. We shall meet tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, you all stabilize yourself in your ancestors' form and end all the opposition forever. Om Shanti. Have a wonderful day.